Kim here in Northern California at City Oasis. Been out driving all day, picking up one of my kids from the airport, and I got home, wanted to come out to the garden and do just a little bit of evening watering, and was met with a sad sight. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This bed of squash with cucumber here on the end climbing the trellis is looking so good. Look how nice and healthy it looks. What you wouldn't know though is that right next to this gorgeous bed of zucchini is another bed of squash. A little watermelon on the end. The rest of it, I had 8 plants of delicata. And if you watched a recent video of mine, you'll know that one of my delicata plants was taken out. Yep, taken out by what I've realized is gophers from underground doing their dirty, dastardly work. So, are you ready? You ready for this? Bum, 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 bum. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Time to switch to containers. And I'm going to dig out this bed, which I never dig out beds, but yeah, I'm going to dig out this bed because it's one of the very few that wasn't prepped with hardwood cloth on the ground underneath the soil to prevent gophers and moles and voles from coming up and chewing off the roots and taking out my vegetable plants. So I'm upset, but this is the 5th or 6th one. Every day they've taken out another plant. I'm sure that these two will be next. For some reason, they have left the watermelon there alone. And I guess that they're not in this bed. To tell you the truth, I don't remember if this bed had hardwood cloth put down, but it was put in before the other bed, and I'll have to look back in my documented videos to find out. But yeah, this bed will be undergoing a surgical procedure at the end of the season. Till then, I'm going to bring some containers over here and plant delicata again, but in containers where the gophers cannot get to them. And hey, garden cat, why haven't you been doing your job chasing the gophers, huh? Why haven't you been chasing the gophers? There better not be any gophers in my zucchini. Yeah, so yeah, that's terrible, heartbreaking, and my heart was broken over and over, and this time I almost have to laugh. It's not funny, but it kind of is. So, yep, going to containers for delicata and redoing this bed. By the way, lesson for me, lesson for you, take the time to put down something on the ground, even if you don't have a gopher problem, because when I put my beds in, I didn't have a gopher problem. Last year was the first year I saw any sign of gophers whatsoever, and it was very minor and not in the garden. This year, major problem. So, at least to me it's major. But we're going to solve it one way or another. Right, BB? Yeah. So, it's the next morning. I've been out watering, taking care of the animals, but I stopped because I was thinking about the escapade last night and the mistakes that we make in the garden from time to time, everyone does, and how it's so important that we don't let that discourage us. Whether you're new to gardening or whether you've been gardening a while, like me, over a decade now, not counting my early attempts off and on in my 20s and 30s, but here on this property, I still make mistakes all the time. But the one thing you can't do is let your mistakes or just the flukes of nature that happen sometimes, dissuade you from continuing to garden. You don't want to miss out on all the rewards and benefits and just sheer enjoyment to, well, yourself and your family. But I also started thinking that, there was another mistake I made this year, and I need to tell you about it and show you that sometimes your mistakes can be rectified. Maybe I should have done that a little differently, but guess what? It's going to work anyway. So let me just show you a clip from a recent video I did called 6 Surprises, I think, in the garden and orchard, and a bonus. And the bonus was I had all this surprise artichoke growing volunteers down in my orchard, and I dug them up and transplanted them up here in my garden. And I thought it was going to go great. and maybe it didn't so much. Let's take a look. Okay, this is where I am going to put these artichoke. I think I took 9 or 10 seedlings, and I think I only want maybe 6 in here, 3 on each side, but I have no clue whether they're going to take or not. We'll see if they like being pulled up from where they were and put right here in the full sun. So it turns out I have a total of 13 of these artichoke seedlings that I planted here in this wooden planting trough. Now I'm gonna water them in. As you can see, I have a soaker hose that I'm gonna be using to keep these watered throughout our hot summer. And well, we'll see how they do. They probably almost definitely won't grow an artichoke flower this year, but looking forward to that in February, March of next year. So that's how the artichoke looked when I first put them in, and I was very positive and hopeful about how they would do. I mean, artichoke are super strong and resilient in general. They don't look quite the same anymore. Let's take a look at what happened to them and how, in the end, it's all working out fine anyway. I know. You think it looks terrible, but no, this looks great, actually. When I came back a day or two after I planted them, I knew the mistake I'd made, and I didn't know if they'd make it. But what I didn't do is I didn't give up. I kept watering, and I kept hoping, and one by one, as the leaves died off, new leaf growth came out of, I think, almost every one of these. Let's see, that one, that one. This one might be the exception, but I'm not giving up yet. This one, that one. And let's look in the next bed. Yep, new growth there. New growth there. So despite looking like they were 100% decimated from the, I won't say intense sun, it was only in the mid 80s to low 90s. Okay, this might be an exception too. No, there is a little growth coming up right there. And here, yep. And here, yep. Looks like we really only had one that doesn't have new growth coming out of it. Now, this is not what I recommend. Okay, I took a moment to clean them up, and they look a lot better. Small, but green and growing, and yeah, a lot better. So no, I don't recommend transplanting in the heat of the summer. Whether for you that is the end of May, you're already in the 90s, or if it is July, whatever the middle of summer is, in other words, super hot, dry weather is, for you, transplanting then is not a good idea. But sometimes life gets in the way and we forget about things, or maybe you don't even know you have volunteer artichoke or something else growing somewhere on your property where, it's not convenient for you, or it's not the right microclimate for the plant, and you just don't know about it. You discover it, and your choice then is dig it up and transplant it. Maybe dig it up and pot it, and then put it somewhere somewhat shady. But if your choice is it's gonna die anyway, or you could try to see how things go via transplanting, well then why not? That's what I say anyway. And in the end, though it looked like they weren't going to make it, I think most, if not all, of these artichoke are going to make it. So I thought it was just one, but when I cleaned them up, it looks like there's 2 that haven't yet, right in there somewhere, sprouted new growth. One on that side and one on this side so far has not produced anything. But if, let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If 11 out of 13 have come back and are growing me nice, healthy artichoke plants out of the disaster they looked like a week or two ago. I'm going to be very, very happy. And one of the things reinforced to me yet again is do not give up. Do not give up. Just keep trying. Just keep in mind that it's all an experiment when you're, attempting something crazy like this. And then no matter what the results are, you can be happy. And oftentimes those results are a lot better than you think they're going to be. So in the end, I guess all's well that ends well. I mean, I can only think ahead so much. I can only plan so carefully. And I am someone who likes to take a little risk now and then, and definitely someone who likes to experiment. But what I found is that most of the time things go fine anyway. And even if they don't, I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to learn how to do things better in the future, but also learn how to adapt and how to make the most of whatever situation I find myself in the garden. And I do think these artichoke are going to be fine. I also think that in the end, I'm going to have tons of squash. I mean, I already have had so many zucchini, both dark and yellow. And so, the delicata are going to be a bonus. Plus, my butternuts are doing fabulous. I've got them growing all over the garden in raised beds and in containers. And so far, nothing has bothered them. I'll be sure to keep you updated, though, on both the artichoke situation and the delicata squash area over there and what I end up doing with it. I'll show you in the next video. And then throughout the summer and fall, I'll keep you up to date on their progress. Now I'm going to go finish watering, and then I have a few more seeds to start. These are some flowers. I'm going to plant a few more echinaceas, these in fact, paradoxa and paradiso mix. I like the idea of having a variety of shades of pinks and creams, and doesn't that yellow look absolutely cheerfully gorgeous? I love echinacea. I love the fact that it comes back every year, and I want to see more variety of it throughout my garden. Just look how well all these echinacea volunteers are doing. This one here, and then this one here. Yeah, I think this is my favorite one of all, though. Just magnificent. So I want more volunteers in many different colors of coneflower or echinacea coming up everywhere. I don't think the bees would mind it either. I'm also going to plant some zinnias because for the first time in several years, I didn't have any zinnia volunteers come up. So I'm going to plant some purple prince, some Redmond super cactus, and just a variety, what are they calling those? Giant cactus flowered mix of colors. So yeah, I'm going to plant all those in and amidst the veggies here, and we'll see how they do. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you are encouraged to just keep on keeping on, keep having fun, keep trying, keep enjoying what you do harvest, keep enjoying the flowers you grow. Just don't give up or feel too down when you make a mistake, because everyone does it. You will. It's okay. Just move on, maybe learn a lesson, maybe just, try again. In the end, as long as you keep on keeping on, your garden is going to be your personal oasis, no matter what mistakes you make along the way. In fact, the mistakes often lead to interesting new developments that you never would have discovered otherwise. I'll be sharing another video soon, so until then, stay well and happy growing.